We lived nearby each other. We were neighbors in Sanford, Florida. And she's been visiting Maine. She is a longtime yogini yeah, she's a dear friend. And
Jugat trained me.
Oh, yeah, and Jagat Gurukar taught her how to do heart breath.
My introduction to
yeah. You can talk. They can hear you because
yes, she was my introduction to Kundalini yoga. I think at least 20 years ago when she was teaching at the Seminole College in Sanford, Lake Mary. That's when I was first introduced to her and to Kundalini. So, and then we used to go to the ashram together when Jeff lived in Orlando. So,
yeah.
Okay, great. So now let us get tuned in. Okay. So
okay.
Come together. And breathe. Just breathe. Oh, and hi, Joe Gian Devi. So glad
I'm here. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have Gian Das, Prem, and Agyapal as well.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. So let's breathe. And inhale. Heart breath. And also, Baba Siddhuchan says you might have pen and paper before we get together. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So, and now we are going to have from Baba Siddhuchan for the word for this time, for the concept or the knowing from Baba Siddhuchan. Remember, it is from Baba Siddhuchan. Okay, so this is for now, N-A-W. You got that? N-O-W. And as in the moment. You got that? Okay, so begin heart breath. And meditate for 3 minutes and continue. And inhale. And exhale. Good to have you. Huddy Mender, you snuck in there. Hi there. Did you get for the concept? Are you there?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Oh, good. And then also we have with Japa Saraswati's a wonderful friend is called Sheila. And then also, what about Jagat Kuru? Is she okay?
I haven't talked to her. We called her on the way just maybe an hour ago to check in with her, but because I've been pretty out of touch since I've been away all week long. So I haven't talked to her since. Oh, but you know what? She did message and said that she listened to the recording of last week and that she felt a great lightness and lifting and healing. She said she felt absolutely just a lot improvement after listening to that. And that was the last message that I had from her. And also, Nora called me last night and she and I chatted and she said that she was going to be here today. I spoke with her husband, Bob, but I think it's kind of early in the morning for where she is because she's in another time zone.
Right.
So I think that we may be a bit early for her these days. But
Okay.
she said she sends her love to you. She loves you so much, she says.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that after Baba Chan.
Okay.
And let's see, and have healing from Nora and from is it right? Jagat Guru? Okay. Okay. So here we go. So Agya Paul.
Yeah. I have a question. Did I misunderstand that we were meditating on NOW?
Yes.
That's correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's what I did. But
Oh, good.
I as I was meditating, I was I was listening to Baba Siri Chan
Oh, good.
and the what came up to me is that that's a challenge for me to stay in the now.
Yeah.
And especially because when I stay in the now, well, for example, last week I was on vacation at the Cape and um was on the wharf and my dog saw another dog and um pulled me and twisted my back and threw my back out and
Oh, no.
so what I've been doing is trying not to stay in the now because to escape the to not feel the pain and but what I heard from Baba Siri Chun is to stay in the now, to breathe into my body. So this is an exercise he wants me to do, to 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 let the thoughts go and to stay and breathe and note and be aware. He says there's a lot of healing in being aware of how I'm feeling. And so that's what I've been doing as, just Actually, I was doing that earlier today. Because the now sometimes, okay, so that's one thing. And then um the future. So I asked Baba Siri Chan, no, no, that's not, to the future is just an infinite number of nows. He keeps telling me. So just stay right in the now is my were my instructions. And the past, the present, and the future are in the now. And but yeah, it's a bit of a struggle to be aware and stay in the now, to counteract, let go of my thoughts that bring me, to the good old days, or bring me to what I would love to be able to do in the future, and just let go of those, and be in the now, and just be present. And he said the present, my presence is a present to other
Ah,
people. And so to be present, without judgment, towards myself and towards the others whom I meet, is key. So it's a bit of a message to dial back, dial down, and just be in the now.
mhm. Wow, that's good.
Well, it's a practice, right? So I'm not, I don't have, I'm way far away from being any kind of an expert in this
Mhm,
practice. However, you know, I know that's very, very important. And, and that's the neutrality you spoke of. It's just, without the desire to have things the way they used to be, and to want things better, and so forth. It's just being neutral. And this is where Guru um, resides, and will speak and will guide me from this neutrality.
mhm.
Yeah.
And so what happens when that happens? What happens for you?
I'm not really good at staying in the now. It's like I find myself jumping out into another, something else, thinking, oh my God, I forgot to do this. Oh, I have to do that. Um, it's so it's being, what happens for me is there is a resistance, I have to admit, to just being in the now.
Mhm,
And I shouldn't say just, but just I um to being in the now, and breathing into my back, and breathing into, just breathing into my whole system.
mhm,
It's the prana that is what is being uh strengthened, I think. Yeah,
mhm,
is when I'm staying in the now.
mhm. How about that?
And
How?
then the last thing I'll say is, there's something that is fearful about being in the now. And the message that I give myself often is, okay, you're in the now, but you have no idea what's going to happen next. So, buckle down. You have no idea what's, and then I know enough to be aware of that, to bring myself back to, the breath and to being in the now, and, to heart breath and so forth, into neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me.
Okay. Good.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So did you get, Michelle, something about Warrior? Did you see that last night from Michelle Obama?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So this is also about spiritual warrior. That's what you're talking about,
Ah,
to keep the practice.
yeah, keep the practice, right.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yep,
Okay. And
thank you.
also for fear, you remember about what do we call that? Fear something against fear? What is it called? You
Fear
remember?
eradication?
Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay.
Yeah, 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 thank you.
Okay. And of course, Japa Saraswati has gotten about your um your ashram.
The video?
Yes, isn't it there?
Yes, it's there. You can find it online at, do you want me to say where?
Yes,
Is that
please.
what you want?
Does
Yeah, you
everybody,
can find,
wait a minute, does everybody have pen and paper? Are you ready?
you can find the fear eradication meditation on the Baba City Chand Ashram YouTube channel. If you just Google fear eradication meditation, or you'll find it, and it comes up very easily. And it's a video of Agyapal demonstrating how to do it. And it's wonderful. Thank you, Agyapal. And also, if you want the instructions on how to do it, like Agyapal is explaining it, but if you want to see it written down, you go into the comments and it's the pinned comment, so you can look at the screen as she's saying and look at the directions at the same time.
Perfect.
So
Good.
yeah, so it's for all kinds of learners.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll give Paul do it for yourself as well. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
thank you.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so now how uh about Gian Das Prem? Are you there?
It takes him a minute to come off of mute sometimes.
Satnam. Well,
Saddam.
thank you. Thank you for that. Your voice sounded amazing. Um, so for me, um, Baba Siri Chand, he came sliding into the picture. So from what it was for me, was as I was just focusing, bringing myself to, whatever place I come to when I'm grounding, and I was in a field and I was just seeing a dragonfly. And then, through the breathing and breathing through and, looking again, and Baba Siri Chan sort of came along like a dusty cloud of wind, and he slid over and he came into himself and he said, "What are you going to do now?" And I said, "Satanam, I am going to do Satanama now." So I think within that, the reasoning of our grasp of what is now, there's sort of that sense of being, like he's telling me, that being of how, um, back to the circle and the Bani Guru of how, everything that is created from where we are here till now, and it can get silly at times, right, with the amazing actions that we're seeing. But for me personally, it was noticing some of the weather that I've seen in the last few months, through the clouds, and noticing how the light is coming through and the way the storms are moving. And I'm in a place where normally there isn't lightning seen, and we were talking about it in a group. And the other day it ended up happening, and I was reminded through Baba Siri Chand of noticing, the things that brought us to where we are now, and how we are moving forward, through that, becoming where we are, right, as a group of this vibration that we're holding, and noticing the group and the container that we're in for that, for that ultimate, that melding, or that, for that stewing, for that ability for us, to mesh together, to become part of that machine, of that way that we work with our vibration, with our magnetic energy, with our kinetic energy, with, the creation of the elements that bring us together, that here we are now, right? So I think in noticing the way of how he came sliding into the picture, as something that was seemingly not anything, and then, coming to that point of stillness, and noticing that sometimes in the now, when we do find things that can be shocking, seemingly shocking, that if we do come back to our breath, that we're able to notice that circle of the inhale and the exhale, and that, the circle, right, or that oblong shape of the cell, and the countless ability that we have for our transformation, from this dirt and water to where we are now. And noticing in that, and returning to that motherly way of how this creation is so free flowing, and the movement is so ongoing and constant, that creates, that's where we are now in that sense. And I think in that evolvement of that being in the now, can, have a realization for us to see the billions, to notice how many of us there are. And I think just in the, counting of the fingers, if we do Satanama, and we're just touching that, where it's sort of simple, right, that we have those 5 things that we're using, our 4 fingers and our thumb. And I love art, and I love music, and I watched the closing ceremonies of the Olympic Games, and I noticed that they had 5 rings. And there's so many correlations to the 5, and even into this tradition that we speak of, and into the writing and into the stories of, how brave we become when we put ourselves forward for the group, for the commune, for that whole vibration of coming into that whole vibration, to be able to, have it be a celebratory thing too, that when we, because we are walking in this life and death situation, in the simplicity of our breath. So if we can come to that, back to noticing within the child, sort of, and I noticed it in Argia Paul's voice through that, the truth, right? Truth is my identity. And so many times that we practice it, and we're able to notice at some point, right, through the repetition, that will come to the point of where we are now, right? Yeah, I noticed myself that when I was walking the other day, I tripped, and that became uncomfortable for me for a couple of days. So I had a certain way of modifying, and then, coming into that breath and noticing the direction of how I'm focusing that breath, and, coming back into that sort of noticing the child. Sometimes when they fall down, they can, it's seemingly this stunt worthy thing that you're noticing and saying, oh my goodness. And then, you're looking at it and you're saying, how, as an adult, we've fallen so many times, and they're either gonna, just pop right up from it, or they're gonna notice something and they're gonna, feel that pain and go into that expression. So I think, and noticing that too, that's part of that circle of being in the now of, and that now has a way of continuously showing us till we can turn the letters around to make it one. And that knowing of now that is the one that, yeah, is the only way we're going to win is to be one with the now. And I think that part of my opinion too. So, and then returning to that, we have the ability to, notice ourselves from where we were to how we are now, and our ability to transform that into the vibration that allows all of this free movement to be coming into my now of that continuous movement in order to bring it forward, right? So that I have that simplicity of my Satnam of being able to handle the circle from the true beginning to, when I will face my leaving this body, where I go back to the ether and through all of these things that were created, from the clouds and the dust, and then into the body of being in that Satnam. So yeah, and certainly celebrating the Waheguru and that, Satanama, and of course it's, the joking around and the silliness of it, with the Satana now. Yeah. So I think that's a way of winning too, if we can find a way that we get over that, and we're back into that circle of our breathing, that we can have, the way of being with all of this free movement and sort of erasing that, top ruling thing that sort of pushes us down sometimes. So yeah, and that back to that Waheguru and of that celebration, right? Because there's so many things happening right now too that is going on around us. And then, just inside of our brain, there's how many billions, all of these communications going on, and then, the cells in our body. And so noticing that part of our body and putting that, focus into that strength of that conditioning. Yeah. Like, so if we're doing a salutation, we're sort of, bringing ourselves up, and we're feeling the way that we're doing, and looking into that ways of the flower, of how the flowers, they open and close, at nighttime, or they come over and they go a certain way, or sunflowers come together and they hold each other up. And I think noticing that correlation of all of that symbiosis that is in that now, that yeah, that Waheguru can come into the picture so that we can have our way of being here together in this group. And then the sharing of that vibration and our communication, that's the love back out to the world. Yeah. And coming back to that motherly presence, right? That we're now so willing to hear the mother's voice again, and to notice our belly button, that it's in there, and it's uncomfortable when you take your finger and push it in. Pushing in as hard as you can, or as much as you can, just to notice that there is a little bit of a feeling of discomfort there, or noticing where that discomfort, comes and goes, and that in our breath we have that ability to transform that part of our body if we can, move away from what's in our brain. And sometimes we're doing that in our prayer and our hopes of wishing that this whole world can come together in a way for healing through the mother. Thank you so much for the Siri.
Thank you, dear. Okay. So now here's Gian David.
Hi there.
Hi.
Okay. Now, in the moment, meditate to stay connected and calm. Ask for what you need. Know that you are one with the I Am. See beyond any chaos. Find joy in everyday little things. Be in your breath always. Hold a steady frequency. To hold the frequency is through meditation, is what I asked about. What about that frequency? And that's why meditation, or in the breath, just being in the breath and having a practice will help you stay at a good frequency. And that's all I got.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Now, I'm going to ask you, what about, we also have everyday self. How can we do, excuse me, at the same time, like making, learning knitting or something like that? How do we also at the same time, how do we know about about soul self and meditation? How do we do that?
So common everyday living, which is taking the children to school, making dinners, mowing the lawn. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
Yeah.
Then, okay, I can only speak for myself. It's a part of my life. So it wouldn't be oh, I better do this now. It's already a part of it. Somewhere, if I miss my normal schedules, I'm going to fill it in. Is it a perfect world? No, but I find that calm. I know how to find it. So just in being taught, where you taught us about meditating and understanding what a frequency, what is that vibration? Those are, it would be great to know it before you came into chaos. Yeah, I don't know how you would do it if you haven't started looking. I would hope you would have something to hold on to for another culture. Maybe it's another person. Maybe it's some very tight connection to a religion. I would hope you would find things like that for yourself. But if it's just the everyday, mowing the lawn, cooking the dinner, I would think you would need something more internal. I would say you would need some help. I just think you wouldn't have anything. And that would be, for me, that would be empty or not as connected as I would like. I don't know what everyone's connections. You have to find your own. But at least be exposed to something. I would say start looking if you don't have something. I'm being funny because it would be terrible to me.
Say it again.
It would be a terrible thing to me if I had if it wasn't in my life. I would think that would be unsteady for me. Maybe the other people it's not like that. But in the question for now and in the moment, that's what I think. That's what I got.
Oh, wonderful.
But
Okay.
Gendas Prem did talk well about the frequencies and the vibrations. I think it's a level of awareness. Like I don't think I would have that conversation at every table, and I would gear my vocabulary and what I think according to who I was with, to not totally shut it down, a connection or a conversation. I would work myself gingerly up to frequency and meditations and all things that I think are important. But for someone else, maybe they follow in gentler footsteps.
Okay. Great. So are you saying to do this especially for meditation? In other words, to use that for meditation to power up? Keep it going?
So to me, it's about a continuous, the who that I am and the what I'm learning and the what I want to learn. So to me, it's building a connection. I'm not powering up for, oh my God, the big dark thing that's going to happen. No, I am that. Whether we were swimming in Hawaii and doing nothing, I'm still doing it. And so, but is it a tool that I would teach my grandchild in your terms how to power up, but I won't tell her that's the words. I would tell her how to connect.
Say it again.
I wouldn't tell her.
Say it slow.
Okay. I would not tell my grandchild how to power up. I would teach her how to connect with her soul. I do it with the moon. She can do the moon mantras faster than me, better than me. They're sponges. They just get it. So I would say one at a time. That's the goodness of learning early and young. You can just absorb it and know it and be it. If that's not the case with you, when you're with people, then you teach them what they can know at that time. One thing or 5 things. I just love the connection, or give somebody some hope or some connection. Sometimes just connecting to a mantra or prayer is so life-giving to a person that you could be teaching it to. And sometimes someone doesn't want to hear it at all. And I think that's according to how you respect a person, that how you read a person. And then if they're not ready for it, then don't give it to them. It's not a time for them. But these are gifts, and if you can use the gifts, they surely would help you in a time that that we're all hearing about and anticipating. But it didn't happen yesterday for me. It happened over time. Hopefully there are people out there that are truly looking and then truly sharing. You're sharing right now.
Okay.
So I just think that's, so those that are connected will help those that are not.
Good.
And then they'll be able to, I think that's why we use the term light workers. And then more and more I see, oh, that's why. Because there will be a need to hold a light, and we'll be able to show them.
Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you so much, dear.
Oh, thank you. Hey, what was the connection to the site babasirichan.com? What is it? In order to find frequency of fear eradication.
It's the Baba City Chand Ashram YouTube channel. So you might subscribe to the channel, and you might like the video, and then you could probably find it really quickly and easily afterward.
Okay.
Like if you wanted to do that, then you would see them, and then you would actually be notified when the recordings come up for the recordings that we're doing every week. I mean, if you were interested in that, I'm not trying to push subscriptions. I'm saying that that's where it is, and that I put up like if there are any notes, like if people, those things are put up very quickly, you know, so they're immediately available for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, now I want to ask you, can we go late a bit more? Is that
I can.
okay? Anybody who cannot, let me know.
What's
that?
What? Is there anybody who cannot?
I think we have a little bit of a tight schedule. Me and Sheila.
Okay.
Because I have to get her to the airport. Because she's leaving me. I'm so sad. We've had the most wonderful time.
Okay. So, oh yeah, and you're the one, okay. So we might do this kind of quick, okay? I'm sorry.
You know what else I can do is I could make Aggie Paul the host if we need to sign off. Yeah, you know what? Aggie Paul, can I just make you the host right now? And then if somebody wants to I don't know. I don't think anybody else will sign on. I have to do it from another screen, though. I'll do it while we're talking. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
And then you guys can keep doing the meeting as long as you want.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so right now we're asking Sheila with Baba City Chan.
Oh, okay. Sheila, what was the message that Baba gave to you when we were meditating for the 3 minutes at the beginning?
Meditating, I just felt that it doesn't matter where we are, that we are always connected to one another in spirit. It's what I felt, this universality between all of us, regardless if we're sitting in a park here on the way to the airport. I just felt a really strong connection with all of you who I don't know, and that he's brought us all together in a way that will exist even after we hang up, you know. But you all know that, but that's just kind of how I felt in those few minutes, is that quick connection. Yep.
Good. Okay, so you're saying with a quick connection, right?
Yes, that we're
Okay.
always all available to one another at any moment. Yep.
Okay. Good. Thank you, dear. Okay, Japa Saraswati.
Sure. Well, I heard immediate, like that was the first now that I felt was immediate, like as in immediately right now. I don't know if any of you remember the beat poet and writer Ed Sander, but he was my personal hero when I was 16 years old and going through my beat poetry phase. And he wrote this wonderful poem. He said that the beat generation was all about imgrat, immediate gratification, imgrat, and I don't know if that's true, but I took that with me. That little bit of his poetry stuck with me about imgrat and like the difference between immediate gratification and having that kind of quick sugar high versus, you know, like a complex carbohydrate, more sustained sort of energy. And the message that I got from Baba was about taking care of myself now by taking care of myself later. So like really planting thoughtful seeds and using my energy wisely in the now and in the current situation, and being a wise steward of that energy. And that was and then what was, oh, and directing my focus back to the present. So just coming back to center and being really being single minded in my tasks and when I'm doing something. So to not be multitasking, which sometimes I really like to do, it makes me feel like I'm really getting stuff done if I multitask. And part of my message today was to be doing a little bit less multitasking and a little bit more of the focusing on the present, but focusing on the present in a way that also enriches my future. That was my message.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Excuse me. So now let's go for Hadi Munder. Are you there for Hadi Munder?
Okay, I'm here. My problem is being too much in the now and not preparing for the now.
What does that mean?
That means that I got on the call this morning and hadn't gotten information to two other people who were needed information about the call, and getting everything organized ahead of time because I slept in too long. And so there wasn't any time for my 3 minutes. And because I was still trying to connect to people that I should have connected to yesterday. So how the present enriches the future is a challenge.
Oh, well, you know what? Can I talk to you about this?
Please.
Okay. Because I found this was particular one day that I had too many things to happen. So it was terrible. Because I didn't have the class and I didn't have his blah, 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 and all this. Finally, I said, okay, this is only from soul. I'm saying don't do any future, any, but thing is that you know that is now from soul, everything. And do you know that during the whole day, I just listened to soul, and soul, I did that. And because I couldn't get, I couldn't talk, think about it, something, or I couldn't think about it. But the only thing was to listen to soul at every moment. And do you know, the whole day was done immediately in the exact moment for that. And it worked. Okay. Do you understand that?
I do. And sometimes I kind of am living in a too much and everything has to happen world. Um, and sometimes it works perfectly. Triage is a a challenge
Mhm. Can you
for me.
listen to soul?
I don't. Um, I yes, at times. The other big thing that distracts and it's the drug of the drug of the day, the drug of these times is the cell phone or the so staying and it's created in a way that keeps you can keep one on the what's the word for Wi-Fi kind of it keeps you there and um, it's a huge waster of time and it's a way of keeping one now totally immersed where the other things um, don't get done. But the other part of that is that so much has to be done online and trying to stay off of it and yet having to do things on it is a huge challenge of these times, I think, at least for me.
Mhm. Okay.
But I'd
Okay.
also say that everyone should listen to Michelle's um, speech last night. It was absolutely incredible and very much um, supportive of what it was just a beautiful teaching.
Mhm. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, dear. And so now, can we have hard breath for maybe 1.5 minutes for Nora and Jagat Guru? Can we do that? Okay. So we'll do that now. Continue with heart breath. And inhale. And exhale. And breathe. Okay, lovely folks. Pure vibration, all of you. So now, Joe, Gian, Devi, can you lead us to our song?
Sure. Okay. We're going to inhale and exhale, and on the breath in, start singing. Okay, inhale, exhale, inhale and start. May the sun shine upon you, all
Around you.
and the pure light within you guide your way home, guide your
And
guide your way home.
inhale. Soft. Bless you all. You all are wonderful. And here we are in the now. Love you, love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Satnam, everyone.
Thank you,
Okay.
Satnam. Have a
Satnam.
great
Now,
week.
Everyone, Satnam.
Satnam.
Satnam.